Congratulations on purchasing the finest headlight restoration system in the world. With our system, you'll quickly and easily restore a like-new appearance to your faded headlight, and it will last permanently. It's quick and easy. Let me show you how. First thing I'd like to do is open the bag and check inside to make sure we have all the contents. Tear open the bag and look inside. You will find a dual pouch of CV number 1, 4 individual pouches of CV number 2, 4 sheets of finishing paper, 2 blue and 2 brown, 4 hydroweave cloths, a glove for those of you with chemically sensitive skin, and a full set of written directions which I encourage you to read even though you're watching this video. For the first step, you'll take your 2 pouches of CV number 1, tear them in half along the perforation, and get one of the brown pieces of sandpaper. Fold the sandpaper in half, open your package of CV number 1, and distribute about a pea-sized amount of CV number 1 onto the sandpaper. Put the sandpaper with a folded edge along your fingertips to help distribute the pressure more evenly, and begin to sand the lens to remove the damaged surface. Now that we've finished sanding with our brown paper, take a paper towel, wipe the surface to remove all the residue. You can plainly see the surface of the bad lens is now off the lens and onto the paper. Now we'll move on to our next sanding step, which is with the blue paper. Again, fold the paper in half, keeping the folded edge along the fingertips. Take your CV number 1 and apply about a pea-sized amount to the paper. Begin to sand the lens. If you're working an extremely large lens, or if it's very dry out, the CV number 1 may begin to dry. In that case, you can either put a couple of drops of water on the sandpaper or mist the surface with a plant mister to reactivate the CV number 1 and extend the working time as long as necessary. Now that we've finished sanding with the blue sandpaper, we'll set that aside. Take your cloth, again, wipe off the residue, and we'll move to our final polishing step, in which you'll use one of the hydroweave cloths. Fold it in half, take your CV number 1, again apply about a pea-sized amount, and we'll begin our final polishing stage on the lens. Your first sanding step with the brown sandpaper takes about 3 minutes, second step about 1 minute, and you'll spend about another minute here with the final polishing stage. Now that we've finished with our final polishing stage, take a damp cloth or mist the surface with water so you can remove all the residue. It's important that you remove all the residual CV number 1 before you put the sealer on so that it binds thoroughly to the lens. Now we've washed off the surface to remove all the residue. Make sure the surface is completely dry before applying the sealer so that it binds properly. Get a pouch of CV number 2 and your hydroweave cloth. Fold the hydroweave cloth in half. Tear open the CV number 2 along the notch. And then dispense the entire pouch onto the cloth. It comes out quickly, so be careful to allow it all to absorb into the cloth. You'll notice the surface of the lens has little micro scratches in it that have a hazy appearance. That's completely normal. We're about to fill in those scratches now. You'll draw the cloth across the surface of the lens in one direction, and you can see it filling in those micro scratches as we go. Don't work it too long. You don't want to work it until it begins to pull the surface. And we're going to apply a second coat to it, so if there are any areas you've missed, that's okay. We're going to come back to it in 2 minutes and apply a second coat. So let that cure for 2 minutes, and then we'll put our second coat on. Now our first coat is cured. We're about to apply our second and final coat of CV number 2. Again, take your hydroweave cloth, fold in half, Take your CV number 2, tear along the notch. Apply the entire contents to the cloth, slowly so it absorbs. This product can come out very quickly, so take care that you apply it slowly and allow it to absorb into the cloth. Then, just as you did with the first coat, draw across the lens in one direction, making sure to get any areas that you did not coat the first time. And we're done. Completely restored the lens. Permanent restoration will last the lifetime of the vehicle. I will caution you that while all our products are paint safe, the CV number 2 is a coating and will harden in place if allowed to dry on any surfaces. So if there are any areas where you have CV number 2 that you've gotten onto the paint or onto the grill work, simply wipe it off immediately with a damp cloth and it comes right off. That's it. You've restored your first lens. Now let's move to the other one.